Hello and welcome back to OT, the podcast. We're here to talk about watches, time, and how to spend it. I'm Andy Green.
I'm Felix. How are you, Andy?
I'm good, Felix. Felix, feels like it's been a minute.
Yeah, I mean we're kind of bi-weekly at the moment. We'll probably gear it up pre-Xmas.
Pre-Xmas.
Yeah, we thought we'd do a little quickie for mid-November.
A little check-in. Yeah, you're obviously off to Dubai Watch Week.
You know what I did just before getting on this call?
Book a flight.
No, I didn't book a flight. I bought some power adapters.
Oh, yeah.
Because I didn't have the right time. Amazon getting here tomorrow.
You know, my great tip is you just get a single power adapter. That's one of the multi-use ones. And then you get a little 4 power board for your local market.
You know what?
Plug that in.
I wasn't going to go there. That's exactly what I do. I have my setup optimized for Switzerland.
Yep.
Obviously. I did have an international power adapter. I believe it was a promotional gift from, I want to say Ball, maybe?
Okay.
Possibly right. Frederick Constant.
They're working hard for your approval.
Well, yes. It was, let's just say I lent it to a colleague.
Oh.
Never got it back.
Oh, well, I don't want to point fingers, but I think I know who it is. But yeah, if you're not bringing a power board when you're traveling.
Not a sponsored content. $12 for 2, arriving in the next 12 hours.
Yeah, because otherwise you end up bringing a whole bunch of them and then trying to find ports. Power boards, super handy. They're light, they're cheap. And yeah, you just get the one.
I've even got a travel. This is the next level pro tip that no one asked for. I got a travel power board that has like a folding.
Oh.
The prongs fold back into it. So it's sleeker. Okay.
Well, maybe you can link it up with an affiliate code and we can turn the podcast profitable.
Yes. Yeah, so I'm in the prep for heading off to Dubai. I've got currently in front of me all the exciting travel medicines that now come with being a traveller of my age.
Yes. Okay, so this week we're going to talk about some news. We're going to talk about GPHG because the winners have just been won, and we're going to delicately tread around the Timepiece Gentleman situation now that there's been a whole bunch of stuff happening. Department of Justice over in the United States has released a press release, so we might just riff off that more than anything else.
I'll let you delicately tread. I'm going to stomp all like a lawsuit-inducing elephant.
Innocent until proven guilty, and they're just allegations. So remember that. Felix, what have you been up to though?
Not much, mate. I'm literally buying power adapters and hitting deadlines and celebrating some momentous family events in my life.
Fantastic. Well, I've been having a good time this week. It's been a whirlwind.
Can I just say, my partner made a comment that your week made the grid.
It did make the grid. It did.
People notice.
Yeah. Oh, well, I hope she liked it. A rare Instagram post. So this week was a fun week. I finally got to catch up with Sean, who we've had on the podcast a couple of times.
Sean who, Andy?
Sean Stockman, Boys to Men co-founder, in Australia for a bunch of concerts. And yeah, we got to hang out all week, which was nice. It's always cool to kind of meet an internet friend IRL. Do you want to know what we got up to in a nutshell?
Tell me, Andy, tell me.
So we went watch shopping down Collins Street in Melbourne. Yeah, it was cute. We popped into Monards. Shout out Monards.
Oh, nice.
Get a Normos there if you like. But I went in and I said, because John said, I want to see something, unusual, something I wouldn't see normally. I said, all right, got any Greubel Forsey?
Yep.
They had one.
Nice.
They had one because
pulled it out for him.
We pulled it out. Stickers came off. Had a great old time with it. It was the Balancier Contemporaine in.
Yeah, that's it.
Yellow gold.
Nice.
You seen that watch before?
I'm just look. Honestly, I don't know from the name. I'm just opening the link.
It is. It's got like a balance wheel situation down the bottom. The case back is really interesting because it's got a whole heap of engraving.
Oh, is that all the words? Like
all the words.
Savoir-faire, something there.
Innovative. Yeah, all in French.
Yep.
And then but what's interesting is, the whole thing's interesting. The case is actually stunning, I have to say. I think it's like a 39 millimeter case. Heaps of really nice details on it. Absolutely beautiful. Wears incredible. And then the back plate of that you kind of see elements through the dial, through the balance wheel, is like highly polished. So it's reflective. This was didn't have any diamonds or anything, so it was just sort of the plain. I want to say it was yellow gold.
Okay.
But it might have been rose gold, hard to tell. the piece is very, very limited. I think it was number 36 of a couple dozen.
33 is this.
33, yeah.
Is what this internet article is telling us.
Yeah, there you go. So just a few dozen. Retail price in Australia, I checked.
Can I guess?
You can guess, yeah.
300.
You're close. 365, including GST.
Okay.
So we left that one. Went up the road, had a few other kind of glances around what Collins Street had to offer. What else did we do? We got matching tattoos. We got some bro tats.
Did you really get matching tattoos?
Yeah, didn't I tell you?
I knew you got a tattoo. I didn't realise you both had the same.
Yeah, well, similar. So we got elements that were the same and elements that were different.
God.
Yeah. So
wow.
I could be one of the boys now. I think that's the initiation. And it was a good time, but wrapped the week out going to see them perform at Rod Laver, which was pretty incredible. They've been touring for 30 years.
How old are you?
31. They released their first single about 6 months before I was born. Not quite 9 months. So
here's a question that you may not be comfortable answering.
Yeah.
Your mum and dad fans of Boyz II Men?
Well, no,
they're listening to about
91. May 91 was when Motown Philly came out. Their first big single came out. So, and I would have been a couple months before that. That was my immediate first thought, though.
That would have been great.
Yes. Well, I'm sure a lot of people are to complain Boyz II Men, but incredible. 30 years of performing just shows, seeing them get on stage and just run a really tight ship and incredible vocals. Sean got a new watch. He wore it on the stage. Looked pretty cool. I posted a pic, posted a vid. Like, go identify it if you want. I'm not gonna leak it. And then went out.
The pics and then linking to them.
Oh, it's a hard spot. I'm sure Nick Gould could probably eagle it.
He's on it.
But yeah, it was just cool. It was cool to kind of meet a guest, meet a friend who, we've chatted online. I guess you're going to do that in Dubai. You probably go link up with a few people you've not had the pleasure.
Look, I don't know, honestly. I mean, I hope so. I mean, there's maybe a few people that catching up with people.
Chris Hall?
There's a few interviews lined up of people I've spoken to online that haven't met IRL. That'll be nice.
Chris Hall going to be there?
No, sadly.
Could have recruited him.
Yeah, what are you going to do? If anyone at Dubai Watch Week's listening to this, Chris Hall needs to make the next invite list.
Oh, that's a crime. Anyway, enough about that. A watch fell into our Discord and our Instagram feeds this week, which is polarizing to say the least.
An interesting watch, isn't it, Andy?
It's not for everyone.
I'm referring at the moment to the Hodinkee article, the Lena and Mina reference point for all things horological. Patek Philippe, the minute repeater alarm ref 1938P in honour of Philippe Stern. What I didn't realise about this, Andy, we'll get to the face of the watch in a minute. This is only watch.
Oh, is it?
That's what they reckon.
That's why they kept it under their sleeve for so long.
Yeah, and this is maybe there was a unique version and a serial that maybe was because this is a 30-piece limited series.
Okay.
Whereas, obviously Only Watch is unique, but there were there were some sort of shots of the Only Watch case back, and it had a Hunter case back and these things. But I think that's really interesting.
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
anyway, this watch has been released to celebrate the 85th birthday. What a milestone. Of Philippe Stern, the not the founding father of Patek Philippe, obviously, but one of the sort of most important figures in modern watchmaking, and you can't miss him.
Yeah. I mean, he's on the dial. It is very obviously a kind of side portrait. It's not discreetly kind of incorporated into the design.
Yeah, there's not a subtle shadow on the sub-second's hand or anything.
No, and it's a face on the dial. It is. How would you describe it? It's sort of screen, a single kind of coloured screen print.
It's Grand Feu enamel, so
yeah, of course.
It's technically, I guess, it's miniature, painted enamel and then fired, but it looks to me it's like those old sort of black and white portrait. I mean, obviously it's a photo. It's taken from a photo. So well, what has the internet thought about this, or our Discord at least?
I think everyone finds it a little bit bizarre, and I mean it's a new movement, which is obviously cool, but it is a bit of a bizarre kind of ode to Dad.
Why not though?
People, I mean, it would be an amazing investment. So if you can buy it and get past maybe the hubris, you could probably enjoy it. I don't know. What do you think of it?
Look, high-end Patek Philippe is often weird. Like the Grandmaster Chime was an ugly watch. You know, it's incredible, and it's not about. It's a thing in and of itself. It's kind of like I don't know, like you know how supercars are famously like uncomfortable and terrible to a terrible driving experience. Kind of the same thing, but my biggest beef about it is the face on the dial is fine. What irritates me is the collar of the shirt and the tie look real messy over the Arabic numerals and the small seconds.
Yes.
Like it's sort of, because it's such a stark black and white, you know, image, and then it's bleeding into like print overlay. I just find it odd. Like it doesn't look clean in that part of the dial.
And the only thing I dislike about it is that, I mean, they've been doing it for a while, but email on the dial.
I think that's fine.
I think in the context of everything else, it's not fine.
Actually, I also think, do they not do that anymore? And maybe this is a nice throwback.
I thought they did it I don't even remember seeing it last year or the year before and finding it a little strange.
Maybe they do still. I know someone's changed it. Anyway, look, it's not a problem that we need to really concern ourselves with too much, is it?
No, I don't have the whatever $1 million that it costs. But you know what? If you're the ultimate,
it'll be over. I think the Grandmaster Chimes are about $7 million.
Yeah, okay. Well, if you're the ultimate Patek Philippe fanboy, then presumably you are a massive fan of, you know, what Philippe Stern did.
Honestly, I suspect not a small number of these will be going to retailers that have a family connection. No.
Oh, yeah.
That knew Philippe Stern. Like, in other news, Mr. Booker passed away recently, but, you know.
Yes.
Someone like that, I can imagine, would.
Yeah, I mean, but it's a family owned. It's been family owned the whole time. There's not that many people involved at the top. You know, what is Terry's, fourth generation? So if you are a huge fan of the work that they've done and you value, you know, his autograph and that, then you probably like it. And because it's got his signature engraved on the rotor. So this is for the super rich super fans, I guess.
It's an odd thing, isn't it?
It's not for us.
Speaking of odd things, Andy, GPHG.
Yeah, let's pull up the winners.
So we don't want to talk for the next 80 minutes of our life about, you know, all the categories, but I think it's worth. This is for those playing at home. We've pulled up gphg.org or perhaps a dinky.com sort of take up of the winners. Let's maybe have a quick sort of scroll through, see what catches our eye, Andy, and have a bit of a chat. Should we start at the top?
Let's start at the top.
The Golden Hand, a Grand Prix Audemars Piguet, code 1159, Ultra Complication Universal RD4.
Fair enough. I don't know.
Isn't it amazing?
The watch or the fact that this watch won?
Well, more that we've gone from code 1159 circa 2017, 18, where it was like a Daniel Wellington, to this. I think it's probably fair to this one. And also, old mate Francois is on his way out. So
he's just got won an award on the way out. Yep. I don't know. There's a lot to say about this. It is fascinating that it won, and it's I don't know. I don't know if it speaks more about the finalists and the watches entered in the judges or the releases of the year. But I don't.
It's from what I understand, it's quite mechanically impressive.
Yeah, it is. Of course.
It looks good. Like the 1159s do.
Yes, once. I think
they look good, don't they?
Yeah, They quickly made some tweaks that made them all look great. I'll happily buy and wear one. Maybe one day, like honestly, maybe one day if I had the cash. Yeah, I mean, the standout for me is probably the only watch that I really think is deserving, actually, I'll start with.
Damn.
Is possibly the Christopher Ward C1 Belcanto.
Yeah, okay.
Which is, I think, is deserving. That was an
interesting move for me.
I think it's interesting. I think it kind of acknowledges what they've been doing and sort of the market sentiment around Chris Ward this year, last year. I think it's pretty cool. We've talked about it before. I think, didn't Bowl of Salmon have one and give it a little ding-ding for us?
Yes, he did. Yeah,
he did. Yeah, link up that episode.
Yeah. I thought you meant like ding-ding is a scratch. I'm like, you definitely shouldn't be.
No. Other two notable things for me, the Piaget Altiplano. That won the Artistic Crafts Watch Prize. Do you know what this watch reminds me of?
James Lamb.
Yep.
100%. Look, having said that, I thought the Ladies' Watch Prize, the Piaget Hidden Treasure, I saw that through glass in Switzerland. It is incredible.
That is the other insane winner. Oh my goodness, beautiful.
It's a whole other thing, and it's really, really great and beautiful, and no issues with that winning whatsoever.
No issues. Even Dior Montrez, don't hate the Ladies' Complication watch. Insane detail on the dial.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. My mid takes, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad. I think the Ulysses Air Freak winning the Iconic Watch Prize is good. I don't know if any sort of iteration of the Freak has won before. It should.
They're always in there.
Yeah. Iconic design. What else do I find? Simon Brett and the Ferdinand Batude.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised by either of those. They had a lot of hype around them.
Heaps.
They had a lot of, sort of positive energy. I find it interesting. I don't believe they gave out a men's watch prize.
Men's complication.
That they usually sort of have. So not just overall men's watch. The Tudor is a Pelagos 39. Hang on.
As the sports watch prize? Yeah, Pelagos 39 for the sports watch.
Why not the FXD or the 54?
Why the Pelagos 39 at all? Great watch. I like it. Sold me in person. But that's the sports watch, apparently. This is the problem with the whole situation is.
Yeah, the other one, Peter Day, there's another one that had a lot of buzz. Yeah. Virtual Island does nothing for me, that sort of square case shape.
Laurent Ferrier, Grand Sport Tourbillon. I mean, they're fantastic watches, like really, really cool. Laurent Ferrier has been, getting a bit more popular. I think that brand has come a long way, and I don't hate seeing it kind of get limelight. I think it's probably deserving.
Limelight Piaget, Andy.
Yeah.
Little watch humor for you guys.
Goodness. Yeah, Simon.
Do you have any sort of beyond the actual pieces themselves? Is this a strong year for watches? A bad year for watches? What are there any sort of I know we haven't read Chris Hall's take on it yet, which will probably inform what we think. I mean, what do you reckon?
A lot of it looks similar, like the men's comp and so the Hortlants and the Yves Leyland you could describe as looking pretty similar quickly. You've got strong from the independents, so Peterman Bidet, Ferdinand Behoud, Simon Brett, all look kind of similar. Yeah. Even the Beauvais,
It's this. I find it fascinating the Beauvais one, by the way, but that's hey, we're getting a Beauvais boutique in Australia, allegedly.
Yes, no, here we are. Yeah, it's opening soon.
I find it fascinating. It's you're right about that similar look, and I think it's that contemporary, air quotes, independence aesthetic.
Independence aesthetic, and also dress watch vibes. Like how many watches on a bracelet? One, two. There's two watches on bracelet, right? So that is very interesting, and maybe that does reflect the broader sort of shift that we're seeing. I mean, ultimately the problem is it's competition where people have to pay and submit their designs, and if you don't, then you don't get selected. So it's sort of of course you can't expect these, foundation to find every watch that's released. Yeah. But yeah, maybe it's the payment side of things that, makes it tricky. And I don't know. I feel like brands that could definitely afford to do it and do it
Oh,
should.
Bulgari. That's interesting.
No, there's a Bulgari,
Is it?
Serpenti,
Oh, yes.
Cleopatra. Yeah.
Means,
But it is definitely the sort of thing where you can you put a watch in every category and see how you go. And even if you don't win, you get talked about in the lead up and you get your money back in marketing alone. So it's interesting. It is interesting. Anyway,
it is interesting. What else is interesting, Andy?
well, let's wrap with this whole Timepiece Gentleman situation. We've chatted about it a little bit before. It's kind of more free discussion in our Discord, which we'll definitely link up, and thank you to everyone that is in there. But basically during the last week, Wednesday, the Department of Justice did a press release that identified a Los Angeles man who ran the business Timepiece or Gentleman Timepieces, has been appeared in court, arraigned in court, and he was arrested the day before with charges that related to defrauding customers of his high-end luxury watch consignment business. The main charges are sort of wire fraud. 20 years is sort of the maximum sentence for just wire fraud alone, which is, it's sort of like the default charge that, especially in the US, that they try and get people on if you can't get them for anything else. Yeah, just using the wires to commit a crime. That's basically, it's a good catch-all for anyone who thinks that they've gotten away with something. So he's going to be arraigned on the 14th of December, so a month's time. I don't think bail was granted or it was sorted, but it's been weird because he's been posting on social media again, and he was talking about this sort of comeback on the 1st of December or the 3rd of December about coming back and, staying positive. And he's been actively posting and kind of getting back into it. And he, for a little while there, he was sort of, I'm going to make my money back, vlog me making my money back and, chipping away at my $5 million debt or whatever it was. And then it became impossible because whatever he tried to do, people that hated him called up and shut it down, which is fair enough. So he quickly realized, and then he was going to do other stuff. But yeah, it's crazy because he effectively admitted to running a Ponzi scheme himself. Sure. Like, he sort of described it and here's the money and funded my lifestyle, and he put that YouTube video up and admitted to it all. So it's interesting how quickly this happened, because that was only a month or two ago. So to be arrested and charged within just a couple of months means that they've probably been onto him for quite some time, and this was the nail in the coffin.
An easy win.
And yeah, I mean the DOJ sort of point out the similarities between what he was doing and Ponzi scheme. And I mean, top line, this is a situation where someone built up trust, even if we didn't trust it, built up trust, put the work in, had some good deals going, built up a following, built up a social media following, built up a customer base, and then added in that mix of, luxury lifestyle, Ducatis, Lamborghinis, penthouses, hotels, gambling, crazy watches, and then used it to kind of take advantage. And I mean, the craziest part of this is where the DOJ say the consignment agreements would typically be 5% for consignment. 5%, right? That is a huge red flag. Like, I don't know how long you have to be into watches or anything, but no one consigns anything for less than 10%. Like, 10% would be absolute mates rates.
Yeah.
But the cost
or something that's a quick turnaround, surefire.
No, but even then, it's like, I consign stuff and it's been 12%, 13%, plus shipping, plus fees.
Houses are 20%, like Christie's or whatever.
20% either side. And so, I mean, I don't want to victim blame, but 5%, this is just a reminder of something seems too good to be true, then it probably is.
No, and it's not. And it's not victim blaming because it takes, if you ask someone off the street, hey, what's the average consignment rate on a, luxury watch? Who knows? Like,
Well, and this is the thing. People off the street that found him via YouTube or Instagram or whatever probably going, oh, this guy's got a big following, he must be legit. Yeah. And I mean, it reminds me of Horology House all those years ago, where it was sort of like big following, working with brands, great content, in the public eye, really front and center of the whole thing. And then what happened there? Used it, took advantage, things got out of hand. And it's just a reminder that you should really be careful who you trust and who you follow. And if things are too good to be true, they might be.
This week's episode is brought to you by insurance/reliable.
Trust us.
Trust us.
No, and I mean, this is why, there's, you got to be critical of releases, watches, media, everything. You kind of have to put on a critical lens every now and then and go, well, what's in it for them?
That's it. Yeah, that's it. And you can't. I mean, it's all like all this is different takes on that. That's the allure of that like dopamine hype sort of thing. Like, and the Timepiece Gentleman probably felt it himself. Like he was like, yeah, I'm really cool. I'm doing this stuff. I can afford to buy another Ducati and.
Oh, I mean, the temptation, of course. Yeah. Oh, you get a deal, you get the money in. Oh, I'll just wait till this watch sells. That'll cover both of them. And then all it takes is, you not to get that amount. I mean, this stuff very quickly snowballs.
One watch, yeah.
Yeah. One thing and then, doubles, and these things, these situations very quickly multiply and they get out of hand very, very quickly, and it just extrapolates. And by the time you realize you're in a hole, it's too far. And look, again, these are all allegations by the Department of Justice. Are presumed innocent until proven guilty, beyond reasonable doubt. They'll be caught, all that sort of stuff. So, we don't know. I still find it weird that, he was able to kind of keep existing in the world and had a debt and. Yeah,
look, I mean,
there's some strangeness to it all.
I don't find that so strange. I mean, look, there's, you look at what's her face,
oh yeah,
any of these like Silicon Valley sort of
same thing. Yeah,
Theranos, like that sort of white privilege, rich person persona is like, yeah, sure, they can't be faking it. They're the immigrant daughters of German heiresses.
No, he's got far too much money. Probably doesn't. This probably doesn't even make him money. I mean, the other thing they pointed out was the gambling. So. Which Anthony, I think, identified in a few videos was, he was a frequent gambler, frequent trips to Las Vegas. And, you kind of look for some sort of addiction when, fraud is always
Are you going to talk about the fraud triangle again, Andy?
Mate, if you look at the fraud triangle, you see it. So, I don't know. It's all very disappointing. People have been ripped off. It is nice to see that, I guess, the justice system has stepped in, because I know a lot of people were pretty angry for some time.
Do you know if there's like I'm guessing not in America, is like a victims of crime sort of?
Oh, I have no idea. I mean, I think there's retribution. So I don't know.
That's a movie starring Denzel Washington, and that's a very different outcome.
No, I think there's something where you have to pay your victims back. So like Jordan Belfort had to pay back, restitution. Yeah, that's the word, restitution.
Like he'll probably have to, they'll seize his estates, and the government will take their legal costs out first, and then everyone else gets whatever's left.
If it all gets proven, I mean, I imagine, I don't know. It's just disappointing because we sit here, we've been around for a while, and you see these people pop up that are living fast and loose, and it's just something doesn't make sense. And how does this lifestyle get paid for?
Have you ever been defrauded on a watch sale?
No, I've been lucky. I
had someone try and do it to me.
Yeah, right. What happened?
Sold a Stoa. Not a lot. It was like $1,000 sale, 500, under $1,000. And I thought, I knew it was kind of sus. Like he was like on a forum, and he didn't have great profile, but it was all checked. Like everything was in my favor. Yep. And he tried to, and I was kind of okay given the price. Like I'm like, this is not the best. I kind of don't feel, and I knew, like, oh, this is not the great thing, but I needed the money, so I took the risk. Yep. And he's like, I didn't arrive. I'm like, oh yeah, 100%. He's like, oh, you didn't say, it. And I just held firm, and I'm like, here's the video of me putting it in a box, giving it to the postie and all that sort of stuff, and like, here's the tracking. It's all there. It's PayPal will be on my side. And then it quickly turned to, just refund it, I'll send it back. Like the story broke down. He just didn't. He was hoping I would. Right, buckle or. He probably didn't like the watch, or. Yeah, it's just weirdness. Just weirdness. Yeah. Yeah, you just got to be careful. Like reference checks the best thing you can do. Obviously these people have had references and it's all been checked, but I mean, at a minimum, get reference checks, search social media, search the internet. My rule of thumb in Australia is like ABN, licensed secondhand dealer, if they're advertising it as that. Facebook, if they are, they're going to be in some of the Facebook groups that we all know and love. I don't think I'd sell internationally. No, well, that's I consign. So this is ironically, this is why I consign if I do sell stuff, is because they take all the risk. But even then, there's a couple of people that I trust to do that, and anyone else I go, no. And if someone comes to me, I mean, funnily enough, someone came to me, oh, this is my grandpa's watch, I don't know what to do with it, old Rolex 1500. I said, all right, well, I'm not going to bother.
I could, but I'm not going to deal with the hassle. You don't want to deal with the hassle. You don't know anything about watches. Here's a legitimate dealer. He'll take his 13%.
Yep. Nothing to you know.
I mean, no skin off my back. I'll introduce you. This is what it goes for. You know, it might be $5,000.
Yep. He'll
pay you less 15%. You don't have to pack it. You don't have to ship it. You don't have to deal with the transaction risk. You don't have to find a buyer. It's your decision, but $1,500, that's his, and he needs to make money doing it. Not outrageous. You decide, because that's the service you pay for.
Yeah, I know. And the other thing I always find irritating is when people complain about, oh my God, they're taking that for no work. I'm like, no, they are. That's what they're like. People that like, I can buy this and sell this today for this amount of money. It's like, well, do it.
Yep. Yeah, you do it.
This guy, you know, they're doing a lot of work and taking risk to do this. So yeah, it's 100%. Join our Discord, chat out your favorite consigning dealers that are not Dodge, and
Anyway, on that note, Felix, thank you for listening. Make sure you're subscribed to the podcast. If you want to catch Felix's Dubai Watch Week antics, well, there's one place you can do
TikTok
that.
Again.
Fire up the social medias. We link everything up, of course. Give us reviews, tell your friends, join the Discord, usual fun stuff, and send us your watches for free. Felix, I'll see you in a couple of weeks when you get back.
Yeah, we might even have a chat while I'm over there.
We will. All right. See you guys.